Captain Tae-ho Kim stood at the observation deck of Outpost Sentinel, his eyes fixed on the stars. The outpost sat at the edge of human space, far from Earth. Most days were quiet. Today was different. "Captain, we have an unknown ship approaching," said Officer Jun, his voice tense. Tae-ho nodded. "Show me." The screen lit up. A ship unlike any human vessel appeared. It was smooth, with curves that seemed to bend light around it. "Beautiful, but alien." "They're sending a message," Jun said. The screen changed. A tall, thin being with blue-gray skin appeared. Its eyes were large, with no visible pupils. "Greetings, humans of Outpost Sentinel. I am Envoy Mila of the Galactic Council. We come in peace and wish to establish diplomatic relations." Tae-ho touched the metal dog tag hanging from his neck. It was a habit when he felt uneasy. The tag was simple. Name, blood type, ID number. Nothing special, but it was his. "This is Captain Tae-ho Kim of Earth Defense Force. We welcome peaceful contact. Permission to dock granted at Bay 3. Hours later, Tae-ho stood in the meeting room with his second-in-command, Lieutenant Sumin. The aliens, 5 of them, sat across the table. Their leader, High Administrator Voss, was taller than the others. His skin had a purple tint that the others lacked. "We are pleased to meet humanity," Voss said. His mouth didn't move much when he spoke. "The Galactic Council oversees peace among 27 spacefaring species. We wish to learn about your people. We're happy to share information within security limits," Tae-ho replied. "And to learn about your council." Voss's large eyes blinked slowly. "Of course, we will stay 3 Earth days, if acceptable." The aliens toured the station. They asked many questions. About Earth, about human technology, about defense systems. Tae-ho answered carefully, sharing only what was allowed in first contact protocols. "Your species is young," Voss said during dinner on the second day, "but you have advanced quickly. Most interesting. Humans are good at adapting," Tae-ho said. "Yes, we have noticed this." Something in Voss's tone made Tae-ho's hand move to his dog tag again. On the 3rd day, the aliens prepared to leave. They exchanged data files about culture and basic science. Nothing military, nothing that could harm Earth if misused. "We look forward to future talks," Voss said as he boarded his ship. "The Council will contact your leaders soon." Tae-ho watched their ship leave, feeling relief, but also worry. Something wasn't right. He couldn't name it, but he felt it. Later that night, Tae-ho couldn't sleep. He walked through the quiet station, checking systems out of habit. In the communication room, something caught his eye. A small blinking light that shouldn't be there. "Computer, run full security scan," he ordered. "Scanning," the computer replied. "Warning. Unknown devices detected. 12 locations." Tae-ho's heart raced. "Show locations." A map appeared. Small dots blinked in key areas. The engine room, weapon systems, the main computer core. "They're bugs," Sumin said when he called her to the room. "Listening devices. Maybe worse." "They weren't diplomats," Tae-ho said, anger building inside him. "They were spies." The team worked all night to remove the devices. Some were simple recorders. Others were trying to copy data. 2 were set to disrupt systems if needed. Tae-ho held one of the alien devices in his hand. It was smaller than his thumb, but could have caused terrible damage. "Send a message to Earth Command." He told June, "Tell them first contact was made, but with hostile intent. The Galactic Council is not here for peace." As the message was sent, Tae-ho looked out at the stars again. The vast darkness held dangers they hadn't known about until today. His hand touched his dog tag once more. "They don't know who they're dealing with," he said quietly. "They don't know humans at all." 3 months passed. Life at Outpost Sentinel returned to normal, but Captain Tae-ho Kim remained watchful. Earth Command had increased patrols after his report about the Galactic Council's true nature. Tae-ho was checking sensor data when alarms blared. "Captain, Multiple ships entering our system. Officer Jun's voice shook. Hundreds of them. Tai-ho rushed to the command center. The main screen showed a sight that froze his blood. A massive fleet of alien ships had appeared. They were elegant but menacing, their sleek hulls gleaming against the darkness of space. "Message incoming," said Lieutenant Sumin. The screen changed. High Administrator Voss appeared, his tall frame and purple-tinted skin now familiar to Tai-ho. "People of Earth," Voss began. His voice was cold. "The Galactic Council has observed your species and found you wanting. Humans are dangerous, unpredictable, and a threat to galactic peace." Tai-ho's fingers found his dog tag. "The Council offers you one choice. Submit to our authority as a protected species. We will guide your development and control your expansion. Refuse, and we will be forced to eliminate the threat you pose." "He's sending this to all of Earth," Sumin whispered. "Not just us." "You have 6 Earth hours to decide," Voss continued. "To demonstrate our power, we will now remove the human outpost that first greeted us with deception." The transmission ended. "Battle stations," Tai-ho shouted. "Emergency evacuation protocol. Get everyone to the escape pods." The outpost erupted into controlled chaos. Warning lights flashed as crew members ran to their positions. "Captain, Earth Command is responding to the Council," Jun reported. "They're refusing to surrender." Tai-ho nodded. "As they should." Outside, 5 Council ships broke from the main fleet and moved toward the outpost. "Evacuation pods ready in sections 2 through 7, Sumin reported. "Weapons online, but they won't make a dent in those ships." "Fire anyway," Tai-ho ordered. "Give the evacuation time." The outpost's guns fired. Bright energy beams struck the lead Council ship. Its shields flickered but held. The alien ships returned fire. The first hit shook the entire outpost. "Hull breach in Section 4, Jun shouted above the noise of alarms. "Shields failing." "Launch all evacuation pods," Tai-ho ordered. "Lieutenant, get to Pod 7. "What about you, sir?" Sumin asked. "I'm taking the stealth vessel. I'll draw their attention away from the pods." Another hit rocked the station. Panels exploded and smoke filled the command center. "Go," Tai-ho shouted. "That's an order." As his crew fled, Tai-ho downloaded the outpost's data to a portable drive. He ran through smoke-filled corridors to the small hangar where the stealth ship waited. Through the viewport, he saw evacuation pods launching. Then he saw Council ships firing on them. "No," he shouted, though no one could hear him. Pod after pod exploded. His people, his friends, gone in flashes of light. Rage filled him as he launched the stealth vessel. Its special hull absorbed radar and light, making it nearly invisible. He flew away from the outpost, watching as the Council ships continued their attack. The outpost, his home for 3 years, broke apart under the alien weapons. It was like watching a small sun die. Tai-ho set course for the edge of the system. He needed to survive, to fight back. Hours later, drifting in the darkness, he received scattered transmissions. Earth was under attack, but fighting back hard. Human ships were falling, but they were taking Council vessels with them. Tai-ho looked at the data drive containing everything from Outpost Sentinel. Then he touched his dog tag, feeling the engraved letters of his name, blood type, and ID number. "I will make them pay," he whispered to the empty ship. "I will make them regret ever meeting humans." Tai-ho's stealth vessel drifted through the empty space. It had been 2 weeks since the destruction of Outpost Sentinel. 2 weeks of hiding, listening, and planning. The small ship was not meant for long trips. Food was running low. The air recyclers worked overtime. But Tai-ho refused to give up. He sat in the pilot's chair, watching sensor readings. His uniform was wrinkled. His face showed a 2-week beard, but his eyes remained sharp. "Computer, play Earth broadcasts again," he said. The screen showed news from Earth. The images were bad. Council ships attacked major cities. Human forces fought back, but were outmatched by alien technology. Computer, stop. Tahoe couldn't watch anymore. He touched his dog tag, thinking of his lost crew, of Earth, of everything the Council was destroying. The sensor beeped. A ship was coming. Tahoe checked the readings. Council supply ship, he muttered. Small crew. Minimal weapons. An idea formed in his mind. A dangerous one. Tahoe powered up his engines. The stealth vessel moved silently toward the Council ship. Years of combat training took over as he planned his approach. The supply ship was larger than his vessel, with a flat, wide design. It would have supplies, maybe weapons, information. Tahoe maneuvered close to the Council ship. He found an airlock on its underside where his ship could attach without being seen. Computer, match rotation, and attach to target, he ordered. With a soft thud, the ships connected. Tahoe put on a combat suit and checked his pistol. The weapon was small but powerful. He hoped he wouldn't need it. He cycled through the airlock and cut through the Council ship's outer door. Alarms would be going off inside. He had to move fast. The corridor was empty. The air was different, thinner with a sweet smell. Tahoe moved quietly, following signs he couldn't read but could understand from their symbols. He found what looked like a storage room and slipped inside. Boxes of supplies lined the walls. But what caught his eye was a clear cell in a corner. Inside was a woman in a lab coat. She stood up when she saw him, eyes wide with fear, then hope. "You're human," she said. "Captain Tahoe Kim, Earth Defense Force," he replied, moving to the cell controls. "Who are you?" "Dr. Hannah Park, Science Station 12. They took me when they attacked the station." Tahoe disabled the cell. The barrier disappeared, and Hannah stepped out. "We need to move," Tahoe said. "There can't be many crew, but they know something's wrong." "There are only 6, Hannah said. "They're not fighters. They're scientists and engineers." Tahoe nodded. "Stay behind me." They moved through the ship, hiding when they heard voices. Hannah pointed out important areas. The engine room, the communication center. "We can take this ship," Tahoe realized. "It's bigger than mine, better equipped." "What good would one ship do against the Council fleet?" Hannah asked. Tahoe's hand went to his dog tag. "It's a start." They reached the bridge. 2 Council aliens worked at controls. They were thin, with the same blue-gray skin Tahoe remembered from the first contact. The aliens turned, saw the humans, and froze in fear. "Please," one said, raising long, thin hands. "No harm." "You invaded my home," Tahoe said, his voice cold. "You killed my friends." "We are not soldiers," the alien said. "We follow orders." Hannah touched Tahoe's arm. "We need them to operate the ship." Tahoe lowered his weapon. "Lock them up, like they did to you." Hours later, the supply ship changed course. Inside, Tahoe and Hannah studied the ship's systems. "I can learn to fly this," Hannah said. "I was working on alien tech before they caught me." Tahoe nodded. "Good, because we're going to hit back." "Just the 2 of us?" Hannah asked. Tahoe looked at the star map showing Council positions. For now, 1 month had passed since Tahoe and Hannah took the Council supply ship. They named it Phoenix, a creature from Earth legends that rose from ashes. Like them, they sat in what was once the ship's dining area. Council data tablets covered the table. "I figured it out," Hannah said, excitement in her voice. "The Council species, they're not like us." Tahoe looked up from the weapon he was cleaning. "How so?" "Physically, they're weak. Their homeworlds have low gravity. Their bones break easily. Their muscles tire quickly." Hannah pointed to diagrams on a tablet. "But their minds are powerful. They advance through brain power, not physical strength." "That explains their technology," Tahoe said. "Yes, and something else." Hannah pushed another tablet forward. "They don't fight their own wars. They use machines, AI systems, automated ships. They find direct combat. Primitive. Taiho considered this, so they fear what they don't understand. They fear us, Hannah corrected. Humans are strange to them. We're strong. We take risks. We keep fighting when logic says to surrender. Taiho touched his dog tag. Can we use this? I think so. Hannah stood and walked to a large screen. I've been studying their ships. Their weapons are powerful, but their defenses have weak points. They never expected anyone to get close enough to exploit them. She showed Taiho diagrams of council ships. Red circles marked vulnerable areas, engine cooling systems, communication arrays, shield generators. I was working on reverse engineering their tech before they caught me, Hannah explained. That's why they took me alive. They'd wanted to know how much I knew. Taiho studied the diagrams. What about their central command? This High Administrator Voss. He's on their largest ship. It's called the Arbiter. Hannah pulled up an image of a massive vessel, but it's always surrounded by defense ships. For now, we start small, Taiho decided. Hit supply lines. Create confusion. Make them wonder what's happening. Hannah nodded. I can help modify our weapons, make them more effective against council ships. Taiho was about to respond when an alert sounded. They rushed to the bridge. Council ships, Taiho said, looking at the sensor display. A patrol. 2 small vessels. They haven't seen us yet, Hannah said. Our position behind this moon blocks their sensors. Taiho thought quickly. Can you access their communication frequency? Hannah's fingers moved across the control panel. Yes. Done. Send a distress signal. Make it seem like it's coming from one of their mining outposts. Hannah nodded and worked the controls. On the screen, they watched as the 2 council ships changed course, heading away from them. They took the bait, Taiho said. Now we follow them. The Phoenix moved silently, trailing the council patrol from a safe distance. Hours later, the patrol reached a small outpost on an airless moon. It's a refueling station, Hannah said, reading the sensor data. Minimal crew. No weapons. Perfect, Taiho said. We'll wait until the patrol leaves, then move in. When the council ships departed, the Phoenix approached the outpost. Taiho put on his combat suit. I'm coming with you, Hannah said, putting on a suit of her own. You're not a soldier, Taiho pointed out. No, but I'm a scientist. I'll know what's valuable there. Her eyes met his. We're in this together now. Taiho nodded. They entered the outpost through an emergency airlock. Inside, they found 3 council aliens working at control stations. The aliens surrendered immediately, terrified at the sight of armed humans. While Hannah downloaded data and collected technology samples, Taiho explored the outpost. In a storage room, he found something unexpected, a weapons cache. They may not like fighting, he told Hannah when she joined him. But they sure build good weapons. The council won't expect anyone to attack them directly, Hannah said. They think all species think like they do. Taiho smiled grimly. That's their mistake. He unhooked his dog tag and placed it on the main control panel before they left. Why leave that? Hannah asked. So they know who's coming for them, Taiho answered. 2 months had passed. Reports of attacks on council ships and bases spread across space. Small strikes. Quick. Deadly. And always with the same sign left behind. A metal tag with human writing. In the command center of the council's largest military base, High Administrator Voss stared at the small metal object on his desk. Another one? Asked Commander Leash, his security chief. Yes. Found at the Sector 7 supply depot after the attack. Voss picked up the dog tag. Name. Blood type. Identification number. Such a primitive object. But effective, Leash noted. The lower ranks speak of a human ghost who cannot be stopped, who appears and disappears like smoke. Voss's eyes narrowed. No ghost, just a man. Captain Tae-ho Kim. We thought he died when we destroyed Outpost Sentinel. He's becoming a problem, Leash said. 3 ships lost this week. 2 bases raided. Increased patrols. Double security at all installations. Voss dropped the dog tag back on his desk. And find this human. Meanwhile, aboard the Phoenix, Tae-ho and Hannah celebrated their latest victory. The fuel cells we took will power the ship for months, Hannah said, her eyes bright with excitement. And the weapons are even better than the last ones. Tae-ho nodded. He looked stronger now, more focused. His beard was neatly trimmed, and his eyes held a fierce light. What's our next target? He asked. Hannah brought up a star map. I found something interesting in the data we took. A research station here. She pointed to a spot far from the main council worlds. They're studying human technology there. Human tech. Tae-ho was surprised. Why would they care about our technology? Theirs is more advanced. Not in all ways, Hannah explained. Our weapons are simpler but more reliable. Our ships are slower but more durable. They want to understand how we fight. Tae-ho thought for a moment. Then we should show them. The Phoenix traveled for 3 days, hiding in asteroid fields and gas clouds to avoid patrols. Finally, they reached the research station. It was larger than they expected. A ring-shaped structure with labs extending from the main hub like spokes on a wheel. More guards than usual, Tae-ho observed, watching through the view screen as armored figures patrolled the station's exterior. They're learning, Hannah said, but so are we. They waited until the station passed behind a small moon, blocking it from nearby monitoring posts. Then they moved fast, using the modified weapons Hannah had enhanced. The Phoenix fired precision shots that disabled the station's shields without destroying it. As alarms blared on the station, Tae-ho and Hannah docked at an emergency airlock. Inside, they moved quickly through panicked aliens rushing to evacuation pods. No one tried to stop the 2 humans in combat gear. This way, Hannah said, following directions on her tablet. The main lab should be ahead. They found the lab. A large room filled with tables. On each table was human technology. Guns, radios, even a damaged fighter craft in the center. They're taking everything apart, Hannah said, examining a disassembled rifle. Trying to understand how we think by studying what we build. Tae-ho moved to a computer terminal. Can you access their research findings? Hannah worked on the alien computer. Yes. Downloading now. Suddenly, the door slid open. 5 council security guards entered, weapons raised. Surrender, humans, the lead guard said. Tae-ho didn't hesitate. He fired twice. 2 guards fell. The others backed away, firing wildly, their shots missing. Hannah pulled a small device from her pocket and threw it at them. It exploded in bright light. The guards dropped their weapons, covering their sensitive eyes. Download complete, Hannah called. Tae-ho moved to the damaged human fighter in the center of the room. He placed his hand on its hull, feeling a connection to the pilot who once flew it. Time to go, he said. Before leaving, he unhooked his dog tag and placed it on the nose of the fighter craft. As they ran back to their ship, alarms still blaring around them, Hannah asked, "How many dog tags do you have?" Tae-ho smiled. "I had the Phoenix fabricator make copies, 1 for each mission. They're becoming afraid of it," Hannah said. "Of you." "Good," Tae-ho replied as they reached their ship. "Fear makes you make mistakes." The Phoenix drifted near an abandoned mining asteroid. Inside, Tae-ho studied a message they had intercepted. "It's from Earth," he said, his voice tight with emotion. "Human resistance is growing. They're fighting back in every sector." Hannah looked over his shoulder at the coded message. They mentioned other attacks like ours. Dog tags being found on destroyed council ships. "Copycats," Tae-ho said with a small smile. "Good. Let the council think we're everywhere." Their communication system beeped. An incoming message on a secure channel. Who knows we're here? Tai-Ho asked, reaching for his weapon. Hannah checked the signal. It's using a human diplomatic code. Old, but valid. Tai-Ho nodded. Put it through, but be ready to jump to light speed. The screen flickered. A man in a torn but clean diplomatic uniform appeared. His face was thin, his eyes tired but alert. Captain Kim. Dr. Park. I'm Diplomat Min-Soo Choi. I've been looking for you. How did you find us? Tai-Ho demanded. Your reputation grows, Min-Soo said. The attacks. The dog tags. Council communications are filled with reports. What do you want? Hannah asked. To meet. I have information you need. Min-Soo looked over his shoulder nervously. And allies you should know about. Tai-Ho and Hannah exchanged looks. Could be a trap, Tai-Ho said quietly. Or a chance, Hannah replied. After agreeing to meet, they flew the Phoenix to a small moon in a neutral system. They landed in a crater hidden from orbital scans. Tai-Ho waited outside the ship, weapon ready. A small shuttle appeared and landed nearby. Min-Soo stepped out, followed by 3 aliens. Tai-Ho raised his weapon. The aliens stopped, raising their hands in a universal gesture of peace. They're not council soldiers, Min-Soo explained quickly. They're representatives from council worlds who oppose the war. The aliens looked different from Voss and his kind. One had red-tinged skin, another had 4 arms, and the third was short with dark green scales. I am Trex, said the red-skinned one. My people voted against attacking Earth. The war was not approved by all council members, added the 4-armed alien. Voss pushed it through using fear and lies. Min-Soo stepped forward. I was on a diplomatic mission when the attack began. These 3 helped me escape. They'd been gathering information and supporters ever since. Tai-Ho lowered his weapon slightly. What kind of information? Fleet movements, security protocols, communication codes. Min-Soo looked proud. And proof that Voss started this war for personal gain. Tai-Ho's hand went to his dog tag. Explain. The short, green-scaled alien spoke. Voss's family controls mining operations. Your solar system contains rare elements they want. The attack was never about security. It was about resources. Hannah had come out of the ship and heard this last part. So they killed thousands for profit. It is the way of Voss's clan, Trex said with disgust. Not all council species approve. Min-Soo handed Tai-Ho a data drive. Fleet schedules, defense codes, everything we could gather. Use it well. Why help us? Tai-Ho asked, still suspicious. The 4-armed alien answered. Because if Voss wins, other species will be next. Today humans, tomorrow anyone who opposes him. And Trex added, your actions have given us hope. One human ship has done what our protests could not. Shown that Voss is not invincible. Min-Soo smiled. Your dog tags are becoming famous, Captain. Symbols of resistance. Tai-Ho looked at the strange group before him. A human diplomat, and 3 aliens from different worlds, all risking their lives to fight the council leadership. Come inside, he finally said. We have planning to do. As they entered the Phoenix, the green-scaled alien noticed the weapon systems Hannah had modified. Impressive adaptations, it said. You've combined council technology with human design principles. Hannah nodded. The best of both worlds. For the first time in months, Tai-Ho felt something new. Not just anger and determination, but hope. They were no longer alone. Tell me about these fleet schedules, he said to Min-Soo. I want to know where Voss will be next. High Administrator Voss slammed his fist on the table. Around him, council representatives flinched. Another attack. 3 ships lost. How is this happening? His purple skin had darkened with anger. The humans are adapting, said one representative timidly. They learn our systems too quickly. And it's not just Captain Kim anymore, added another. Reports show attacks in 20 different sectors, all with the same signature, those metal tags left behind. Voss paced the room. Displayed on the wall were images of the dog tags found after each attack, all identical. They're coordinating, Voss said. Somehow, they're sharing information. An older council member spoke up. Perhaps it is time to consider peace talks. The war is costing us. Peace, Voss spun around. We cannot show weakness. The humans must be controlled. But many of our worlds question this conflict, the elder continued. The original vote was close. Some believe we provoked a species that posed no threat. They are a threat. Voss pointed to a display showing human ships fighting fiercely against Council forces. Look how they fight, like animals. Like survivors, the elder corrected quietly. Meanwhile, aboard a captured Council cruiser that Tahoe had renamed Vengeance, a strategy meeting was underway. The ship was larger than the Phoenix, with room for their growing team. Tahoe, Hannah, Min-Su, and their alien allies gathered around a holographic display showing Council space. Our attacks are working, Tahoe said. Council ships are being pulled from Earth's system to hunt us. Min-Su nodded, and our network keeps growing. 17 human resistance cells now use your tactics, Captain. Your dog tag has become their symbol too. Not just humans, Trex added. 3 more Council species have sent representatives to join us. Voss's support is crumbling. Hannah pointed to the display. But he's becoming more desperate. Look at these troop movements. He's diverting ships from the main war effort to hunt specifically for us. For you, Captain, Min-Su corrected. Our spies report that Voss has become obsessed with capturing you personally. The dog tags haunt him. Tahoe touched the real tag hanging around his neck. Good. Let him waste resources chasing me. We've learned something troubling, said the green-scaled alien, whose name was Dex. Voss has ordered the construction of a new weapon, something designed to destroy Earth completely, to make an example of your world. The room fell silent. How much time do we have? Tahoe asked. 3 months, perhaps 4, Dex replied. It is being built in secret at a facility deep in Voss's home system. Then we need to hit it, Tahoe said. Not just raid it. Destroy it completely. That system is heavily guarded, Hannah warned. We need more than our current forces. Min-Su smiled. That's why I called in help. He activated his communication device. The screen showed a human woman in a military uniform. Captain Kim, this is Admiral Lee of the Earth Defense Force. What's left of it, anyway? Tahoe stood straighter. Admiral, I didn't know any high command survived. We've been regrouping, fighting where we can. Her face showed the strain of months of battle. Your actions have inspired many. Those dog tags have become a rally point for resistance everywhere. We need to coordinate, Tahoe said. Voss is building a weapon to destroy Earth. The Admiral nodded grimly. We've heard rumors. My remaining ships are at your disposal, Captain. Your success rate against Council forces exceeds anything we've managed. After the call ended, Tahoe looked at the assembled team, humans and aliens united against Voss. We need to plan our biggest attack yet, he said, and we need to make sure Voss is there when it happens. Hannah placed her hand on his shoulder. How do we do that? Tahoe smiled. It was not a friendly smile. We use his obsession against him. We use this. He held up his dog tag. We make sure he knows exactly where I'll be. Message sent, Hannah said, her fingers leaving the communication console. Every Council communication channel just received the location of Voss's secret weapon facility and a promise that Captain Tahoe Kim will destroy it in 3 days. Tahoe nodded. Around him on the bridge of the Vengeance, humans and alien allies worked at different stations. What had started as a lone mission of revenge had grown into something much bigger. Will he take the bait? Asked Min-Su. He'll come, Tahoe said. His obsession won't let him ignore a direct challenge. Trex, their red-skinned ally, looked up from the sensor station. Reports coming in. Council ships are already changing course, many heading to the weapon facility. And our forces? Taiho asked. Admiral Lee's fleet is in position, Hana replied. The resistance cells are standing by, all waiting for your signal. Taiho looked at the star map. Small lights showed their allied forces hiding near the target. The plan was risky, maybe impossible, but they had no choice. We leave in 6 hours, he announced. Get some rest. Later, in his quarters, Taiho sat alone. He held his original dog tag, running his thumb over the engraved letters and numbers. A soft knock came at his door. Hana entered and sat beside him. Thinking about your crew? She asked gently. Taiho nodded. And everyone we've lost. This started as my fight for revenge. Now it's about saving Earth. It was always about saving Earth, Hana said. Your crew would be proud of what you've done. Taiho closed his hand around the dog tag. Tomorrow will be dangerous. Many won't come back. Hana placed her hand over his. But Earth will survive. Humanity will survive. 6 hours later, the Vengeance dropped out of light speed near the edge of Voss's home system. Immediately, alarms sounded. Council ships detected. Trex called out. Many ships. They were waiting for us. On the view screen, dozens of Council vessels appeared. At their center was a massive ship, the Arbiter, Voss's flagship. We're being hailed, Min-Su reported. The screen changed to show Voss's face. His purple skin looked darker, his eyes cold and angry. Captain Kim, he said, I knew you would come. Your primitive human predictability made this too easy. Taiho stood tall. You're right, Administrator. I am predictable. I said I would come for you. And here I am. Voss smiled. It was not a pleasant sight. Surrender now, and I might spare your allies. Resist, and watch them die before you. There's something you should know about humans, Voss, Taiho said calmly. We're not just predictable. We're also very good at distraction. Confusion crossed Voss's face. Then alarms began to sound on his ship. Now, Taiho ordered. The Vengeance's weapons fired at the Arbiter's shield generators, the exact spots Hana had identified as weak points. At the same time, Admiral Lee's ships appeared from behind a nearby moon. Human resistance vessels dropped out of light speed all around the Council fleet, and most surprising of all, 3 Council warships suddenly turned their weapons on their own side. Our allies within the Council, Min-Su explained, seeing Taiho's surprised look. They'd been waiting for this moment. Chaos erupted as ships fired from all directions. The Council fleet, expecting to trap one vessel, found themselves caught in a carefully planned ambush. Shields down on the Arbiter. Hana called out. Boarding teams, go. Taiho ordered. Small ships launched from the Vengeance, heading for Voss's flagship. Taiho, Hana, and Min-Su raced to join the boarding party. As their shuttle approached the Arbiter, enemy fire rocked the small craft. A direct hit sent Taiho crashing into a wall. Pain shot through his side. Captain, Hana cried, rushing to him. Taiho looked down. Blood soaked his uniform, but he pushed himself up. I'm fine, he said, though his face was pale. We finished this. Today. The shuttle crashed into the Arbiter's docking bay. As the doors opened, Taiho pressed his dog tag into Hana's hand. Just in case, he said. Then he raised his weapon and led the charge into Voss's ship.